Good morning, everyone. Our text is in Acts 2, verse 16. Peter was going to explain to the crowd why the people they're looking at seems to be drunk. They were filled with the Spirit. So this is what he said. What you see was predicted long ago by the prophet Joel. In the last days, he says, I will pour out my spirit upon old people. Your sons and daughter will prophesy. Your young men will see visions. Your old men will dream dreams. We have an intriguing title. Peter believed that he is witnessing the last days. He told everyone, this what you're witnessing is the last day. When you hear the phrase the last day, it means different things for different people. For students who excitedly say today's the last day, he may mean that today is the last day of class. For an employee who say, guys, this is my last day. What he meant is this is the last day of his employment in that particular company. For many modern Christians, when they hear the word last day, they often think of the last day of the planet Earth. However, let me give you a background. For the ancient Jew, it means something different. The ancient Jew, you see, divide their time into two ages, the Mosaic age and the age of the Messiah, or the age of the kingdom. The prophet Joel said, in the last day, God will pour out his spirit. The prophet here is referring to the last day of the Mosaic age. So the Mosaic age, the Messiah age, in between that is the last day of the Mosaic age. If you read the Bible carefully, putting yourself in the shoes of the apostles, all of them have the same mindset that the last day is their day, the first century. If you study history, the idea that the last day is an event thousands of years in the future from the day of the disciples is relatively a new mindset in Christian history. It's a concept that was around just like 200 years in comparison to Christianity, which has been around for 2,000 years. Then there's this idea that the last day may be stretched from the day of the disciple to our day, meaning the last day is not a day, but the last 2,000 years. That again is a very modern idea. Just read carefully the writing of the apostles. All of them think that they are in the last day. In fact, Paul said it's better that women do not get married because of the peril that they are in. They are in the last day. Jesus said, some of you who are standing here, hearing me prophesy about the last day, some of you guys will still be alive. In the book of James, we find James encouraging his disciple to wait patiently like a farmer for the last day. And I can go on and on and on. You see, when apostles wrote the epistle, they have no idea that the letter will become classic. They have no idea that thousands of years in the future, God will still be using their writings. It's interesting when they are writing, for example, to the Jews, like the Gospel of Matthew, there's no explanation of the customs. Why do they need to explain the custom? Everybody knows the custom. However, when they are writing to Gentiles like Luke, like Mark, and if they would mention a custom, they would even put some explanation. And of course, there was no explanation for people who will live thousands of years in the future. In our culture, women wear head covering. If you don't have head covering, you are like a prostitute. I'm saying this for the benefit of those in the future. In the future, guys, you may not need to have head covering. There was no such explanation. This is not to say God has no intention of pouring out his spirit in our day. How do you know, Pastor? Because Peter said in the end of his message that this promise, the Holy Spirit, is for you and your children.